Every year, more than 60 million people travel to one country, not just for its beauty, but to walk through the world's greatest empire, taste food that changed global cuisine, drive roads older than many civilizations, see cities floating on water, stand beside active volcanoes, and experience a lifestyle the Italians proudly call la dolce vita, the sweet life. Welcome to Italy, a country where almost every street tells a story, every city has its own personality, and every journey becomes unforgettable. But Italy isn't only about Rome, pizza, or Venice. Hidden medieval villages, mysterious ghost towns, secret beaches, breathtaking mountains, luxury supercars, Renaissance masterpieces, world-famous fashion, and centuries-old traditions make this one of the most fascinating countries on Earth. In this documentary, we'll uncover famous landmarks, hidden gems, local culture, practical travel tips, common tourist mistakes, and surprising facts. Let's begin our journey. Located in southern Europe, Italy stretches into the Mediterranean Sea in the shape of a giant boot. It shares borders with France, Switzerland, Austria, and Slovenia, while four beautiful seas surround its coastline. Its capital, Rome, has influenced world history for more than 2,000 years. Italy uses the euro. The official language is Italian, and as part of the Schengen area, it is one of Europe's easiest countries to explore on a multi-country trip. Interestingly, two independent countries, Vatican City and San Marino, are completely surrounded by Italian territory. Italy is far more diverse than many travelers expect. The snow-covered Alps dominate the north. The Apennine Mountains stretch like a backbone through the country. The fertile Po Valley feeds much of Italy. The crystal-clear beaches of Sardinia, the dramatic coastline of Amalfi, the colorful villages of Cinque Terre, and the volcanic landscapes of Sicily all belong to the same country. Italy also has nearly 7,600 kilometers of coastline, around 1,500 lakes, and three active volcanoes, including Mount Etna, Europe's largest active volcano. Few countries offer such incredible natural variety within such a compact area. The country that changed civilization. Italy's influence on human history is almost impossible to measure. The Roman Empire transformed law, engineering, architecture, government, and transportation. Later, the Renaissance began in Italy, giving the world extraordinary minds like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Galileo, and Dante. Many everyday inventions also trace their origins to Italy, including the battery, the barometer, eyeglasses, the cello, and the programmable calculator developed by Olivetti. Venice opened the world's first public opera house in 1637. Genoa became home to one of the world's earliest banks. Even Europe's coffee culture grew after Venetian merchants imported coffee beans during the 16th century. Italy isn't simply a destination, it's a lifestyle. Family comes first. Meals are never rushed. People enjoy evening walks known as passeggiata, where conversation matters more than the destination. Fashion is part of everyday life. Even a simple cup of espresso follows traditions respected for generations. This relaxed but passionate lifestyle is one reason millions dream of visiting Italy. Italy has one of Europe's strongest economies and is famous for producing high-quality products. Its luxury brands, fashion houses, automobiles, furniture, food, and machinery are recognized worldwide. Ferrari, Lamborghini, Maserati, Alfa Romeo, Gucci, Prada, Armani, and Versace all originated here. Tourism alone welcomes tens of millions of visitors every year, making it one of the country's largest industries. Italy uses the euro, and cards are accepted almost everywhere, although carrying some cash is useful in small towns. Travelers from many countries can enter with a Schengen visa, while others enjoy visa-free entry for short stays depending on nationality. Italy's transportation network is among Europe's best. High-speed trains connect major cities in just a few hours, while buses, metros, ferries, and regional trains make reaching almost every destination easy. If you're planning to explore Tuscany, the Dolomites, or the Amalfi Coast, renting a car offers unforgettable scenic drives. One useful tip many first-time visitors don't know. On some regional trains, paper tickets must be validated before boarding. Forgetting this simple step can lead to a fine. Italy is much more than famous landmarks. Behind every ancient stone lies a story. Behind every meal is a centuries-old tradition. And behind every breathtaking landscape is a culture unlike anywhere else in the world. Italy isn't just a country you visit, it's a country you feel. The aroma of freshly baked bread drifting through narrow streets, families gathering around tables for long conversations, the sound of an espresso machine in a neighborhood cafe, and people enjoying an evening walk with no destination at all. This is the Italy that most tourists remember long after they return home. There is a famous Italian phrase you'll hear again and again: La dolce vita, the sweet life. But it doesn't mean living with luxury. It means enjoying life's simple pleasures, sharing meals with family, watching the sunset with a cup of coffee, taking time to talk with friends, celebrating everyday moments. Perhaps this is why visitors often say they don't simply travel through Italy. They fall in love with it. In Italy, family is the heart of society. Grandparents, parents, and children often spend weekends together. Many young adults continue living with their families until marriage. Lunches and dinners aren't rushed. A family meal can easily last 2 hours, filled with laughter, stories, and homemade recipes passed down through generations. For Italians, eating together isn't just about food, it's about staying connected. No country has influenced global food culture quite like Italy. The food Italians eat at home is often very different from what is served in many restaurants abroad. Every region has its own specialties, traditions, and secret family recipes. In Italy, food is more than a meal. It's part of the country's identity. If you only eat pizza and pasta, you're missing half the experience. Across Italy, you'll discover incredible regional dishes. In Naples, authentic Neapolitan pizza is cooked in wood-fired ovens. In Bologna, rich meat sauces have been perfected over centuries. In Sicily, fresh seafood reflects the island's Mediterranean heritage. In Tuscany, simple recipes made with local ingredients create unforgettable flavors. Every city has its own favorite dish, and locals are always proud to tell you why theirs is the best. Some of Italy's best food isn't found inside expensive restaurants. It's waiting on busy street corners. Try crispy arrosticini skewers, freshly baked focaccia, golden panzerotti stuffed with cheese and cured meat, creamy gelato, crunchy olive alla scalana, delicious pizza al taglio sold by the slice, warm piadina filled with prosciutto and cheese. Street food is one of the easiest and most affordable ways to experience authentic Italian flavors. Coffee in Italy isn't simply a drink, it's a daily ritual. Italians usually drink espresso while standing at the cafe counter. The entire experience often lasts less than 2 minutes. One surprising custom catches many visitors off guard. Ordering a cappuccino after lunch or dinner immediately identifies you as a tourist. Most Italians enjoy cappuccino only in the morning. Later in the day, espresso becomes the coffee of choice. Another interesting fact is that Venice was among the first European cities to import coffee beans during the 16th century, helping spread coffee culture across the continent. Many visitors believe gelato is simply Italian ice cream. It isn't. Gelato contains less air and usually less fat than regular ice cream, creating a richer flavor and smoother texture. You'll find hundreds of flavors across Italy, but locals often recommend choosing shops where the colors look natural rather than overly bright. A simple trick that often leads to better quality. Italy has long been one of the world's fashion capitals. Luxury brands like Gucci, Prada, Armani, Versace, Dolce& and Gabbana, and Valentino have made Italian design famous worldwide. In cities like Milan and Florence, style isn't reserved for fashion shows. It's part of everyday life. Even ordinary people often dress with remarkable elegance. Looking good is considered a sign of self-respect. Italy celebrates its traditions with incredible passion. Every August 15th, Italians celebrate Ferragosto, one of the country's biggest holidays, originally introduced by Emperor Augustus more than 2,000 years ago. During Carnival, cities burst into color with masks, music, costumes, and celebrations. Christmas in Italy isn't just one day. Festivities begin in early December and continue until January 6th, creating nearly a month of celebrations. On New Year's Eve, many Italians eat 12 grapes at midnight, believing each grape brings good luck for 1 month of the coming year. Life in Italy moves at a different pace. Many small businesses close for part of the afternoon before reopening later in the day. Dinner often begins around 8 or even 9 p.m. Evenings are lively. Families, couples, and friends fill public squares, cafes, and streets. One beautiful tradition is the passeggiata, an evening stroll where people gather simply to enjoy the atmosphere and spend time together. There is no rush, no destination, just conversation.
Here are a few useful tips you should know. Restaurants may charge a small coperto, or cover charge, for bread and table service. Free drinking water fountains can be found in many cities, including Rome. Tipping is appreciated but usually not expected the way it is in some other countries. Many historic city centers have ZTL zones, where unauthorized cars are prohibited. Driving into these restricted areas can result in expensive fines. Comfortable walking shoes are essential because many beautiful streets are made of centuries-old stone. Learning just a few Italian words, such as buongiorno, grazie, and per favor, often earns a warm smile from locals. Italy's culture makes visitors fall in love. But its cities are what make people return again and again. From the mighty Colosseum to the floating canals of Venice. From Renaissance masterpieces to medieval streets frozen in time. Our journey is just beginning. Every great journey through Italy begins in one extraordinary city. Rome. Known as the Eternal City, Rome has stood for nearly 3,000 years, witnessing the rise and fall of one of the greatest empires in human history. Walking through Rome feels like stepping into a living museum. Around almost every corner, ancient ruins stand beside modern cafes, busy streets, and elegant fountains. The city's most famous landmark, the Colosseum, once hosted gladiator battles watched by more than 50,000 spectators. Nearby lies the Roman Forum, once the political and commercial heart of the Roman Empire. As you continue exploring, you'll discover the magnificent Pantheon, an engineering masterpiece nearly 2,000 years old whose massive dome still amazes architects today. No visit to Rome is complete without tossing a coin into the beautiful Trevi Fountain. According to local tradition, tossing one coin means you'll return to Rome someday. Whether or not the legend is true, millions happily test it every year. Hidden inside Rome is an entire independent nation. Vatican City. Although it covers less than half a square kilometer, it is the spiritual center of the Roman Catholic Church and home to the Pope. Inside the Vatican museums, endless galleries display masterpieces collected over centuries. The highlight for many visitors is the Sistine Chapel, where Michelangelo painted one of history's greatest artistic achievements. Many travelers arrive expecting a quick visit. Instead, they often spend an entire day exploring its remarkable collections. Leaving Rome behind, our journey heads north to Florence. If Rome tells the story of ancient civilization, Florence tells the story of human creativity. This beautiful city gave birth to the Renaissance, a movement that transformed art, science, architecture, and literature across Europe. Great masters such as Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Botticelli worked here. The magnificent Florence Cathedral dominates the skyline with its enormous red dome, while the historic Ponte Vecchio continues to attract visitors with its charming shops built directly over the river. Art lovers could spend days inside Florence's museums, but even simply walking through its streets feels like wandering through an open-air gallery. Beyond Florence lies one of the world's most beautiful countryside regions. Tuscany. Rolling green hills. Ancient stone villages. Endless vineyards. Tall cypress trees. Golden sunsets. Every view looks like a painting. Driving through Tuscany is an unforgettable experience. Small medieval towns such as San Gimignano transport visitors back hundreds of years. Historic castles crown distant hilltops while family-owned vineyards welcome guests with locally produced wines and traditional cuisine. Life moves slowly here. And that's exactly why people love it. Most people know Pisa for just one reason. The Leaning Tower. But this historic city offers much more than its famous landmark. The tower stands beside the magnificent cathedral, baptistry, and monumental cemetery, together forming one of Italy's most impressive architectural squares. Climbing the Leaning Tower is a surprisingly unusual experience. Because the building tilts, every step feels slightly different, creating a strange sensation that visitors never forget. The panoramic view from the top makes the climb worthwhile. Now our journey reaches one of the most unique cities on Earth. Venice. A city where roads are replaced by canals, cars disappear, and boats become everyday transportation. Built across more than 100 small islands connected by hundreds of bridges, Venice has fascinated travelers for centuries. The Grand Canal winds through the city like its main street, lined with elegant palaces reflecting beautifully on the water. One of the best ways to experience Venice is by riding a traditional gondola through its narrow canals, especially during the quiet hours of early morning or after sunset. But Venice offers much more than gondolas. St. Mark's Square, St. Mark's Basilica, and the historic Doge's Palace reveal the city's extraordinary maritime history. Few travelers realize that Venice was once one of Europe's richest trading powers, connecting east and west through international commerce. It also opened the world's first public opera house in 1637 and helped introduce coffee to much of Europe after merchants began importing coffee beans during the 16th century. Italy's major cities are easy to explore using trains, buses, metros, and walking. Booking tickets online in advance often saves both time and money. Early mornings and evenings are usually the best times to enjoy famous attractions with fewer crowds and softer light for photography. Carry a reusable water bottle, as free public drinking fountains are available in many cities. Always stay alert in crowded tourist areas, especially around train stations and major attractions, where pickpockets sometimes target distracted visitors. If there's one place that perfectly captures the beauty of Italy, it's the Amalfi Coast. Imagine colorful villages clinging to dramatic cliffs. Crystal clear blue water stretching to the horizon. Lemon trees covering the hillsides. And winding roads offering breathtaking views at every turn. The towns of Positano, Amalfi, and Ravello each have their own unique charm. Positano is famous for its colorful houses cascading down the cliffs. Amalfi was once one of the most powerful maritime republics in the Mediterranean. Ravello offers peaceful gardens and panoramic viewpoints that have inspired artists and musicians for centuries. The region is also home to giant lemons used to produce limoncello, Italy's famous lemon liqueur. Just a short ferry ride from the Amalfi Coast lies one of Italy's most glamorous islands. Capri. For decades, this island has attracted celebrities, writers, and royalty from around the world. Its biggest attraction is the Blue Grotto, a sea cave where sunlight creates an incredible glowing blue effect beneath the water. Walking through Capri's narrow streets reveals elegant boutiques, luxury hotels, and cafes overlooking the Mediterranean. Yet beyond the luxury, Capri also offers peaceful hiking trails and unforgettable coastal views. Further north lies another coastal treasure. Cinque Terre. Its name means 5 lands, referring to the 5 colorful fishing villages connected by hiking trails and trains. Unlike the glamorous Amalfi Coast, Cinque Terre feels simpler and more traditional. Brightly painted houses stand dramatically above the sea, while fishing boats gently float in tiny harbors. Walking between the villages is one of Italy's greatest hiking experiences. Each village has its own personality, making every stop feel different from the last. Watching the sunset over the Ligurian Sea here is an experience few travelers ever forget. Italy is famous for both incredible food and incredible cars, nowhere combines them better than Medina. The city's unofficial motto says it all: slow food, fast cars. Medina is the birthplace of Ferrari, Maserati, and nearby Lamborghini. Car lovers can visit fascinating museums showcasing some of the world's most legendary supercars. But Medina is equally famous for its traditional balsamic vinegar, carefully aged for many years. The city is also home to Osteria Francescana, one of the world's most celebrated restaurants. Few places combine engineering excellence and culinary perfection quite like Medina. Next, we arrive in Milan. Unlike Rome or Florence, Milan represents modern Italy. Glass skyscrapers stand beside magnificent historic buildings. Luxury shopping streets display some of the world's most famous fashion brands. The breathtaking Milan Cathedral took nearly 6 centuries to complete and remains one of Europe's largest Gothic churches. Football fans know Milan as the home of 2 legendary clubs. Fashion lovers recognize it as one of the world's fashion capitals. Business travelers see it as Italy's economic powerhouse. Milan proves that Italy isn't only about history, it is also looking toward the future. Naples is a city of contrasts. Busy, energetic, loud, and wonderfully authentic. It may not appear as polished as some northern cities, but Naples offers something even more valuable. This is the birthplace of the world-famous Neapolitan pizza. Simple ingredients. Wood-fired ovens. Centuries of tradition. Many travelers believe the best pizza they have ever tasted comes from Naples. The city is also the gateway to the Amalfi Coast, Capri, and the ancient ruins of Pompeii. One useful tip: like many large cities, stay aware of your surroundings, especially near crowded transport hubs. Just outside Naples lies one of the world's greatest archaeological sites. Pompeii. In AD 79, Mount Vesuvius erupted with devastating force. Within hours, the thriving Roman city disappeared beneath thick volcanic ash. For centuries, Pompeii remained hidden. When archaeologists finally uncovered it, they discovered streets, houses, shops, temples, artwork, and even everyday objects almost perfectly preserved. Walking through Pompeii feels less like visiting ruins and more like stepping into ancient Roman life. You can still see bakeries, marketplaces, theaters, and even ancient fast food counters. Few places on Earth allow history to feel so real. If time allows, climb nearby Mount Vesuvius for spectacular views across the Bay of Naples, and a reminder of the volcano that forever changed history. From the mighty Roman Empire to the artistic brilliance of the Renaissance, from snow-covered alpine peaks to the turquoise waters of the Mediterranean, from bustling cities and medieval villages to breathtaking coastlines and volcanic landscapes, Italy is a country where history, culture, nature, and everyday life come together in extraordinary harmony. Whether you're searching for adventure, history, romance, world-class food, unforgettable scenery, or simply a slower pace of life, Italy offers experiences unlike anywhere else on Earth. So, if Italy is already on your travel bucket list, perhaps now is the perfect time to turn that dream into reality. And if you've already visited, one question remains: which corner of Italy will you discover next? Thank you for joining us on this journey. Until our next adventure, arrivederci, and see you in the next documentary.